Rob Nelson, talk show host.
Because you got the 70s thing going there. I got someone's underwear.
Robert Kennedy, thanks for taking a minute. Simple question.
Tucker, it's good to see you. Listen,
you're a Bitcoin maximalist. You're Bitcoin forever.
I hate this central bank digital currency.
Hey, I don't have all the answers, but together, I know we can find them.
hey everybody, welcome to Rob Nelson Live. Happy Friday, Black Friday. It is Black Friday if you hate shopping as much as I do. Not that I have to go to stores. Although I did, my girlfriend convinced me that she wanted to get candles, so to go to a candle store, a Bed Bath & Beyond, whatever. There's a line outside the Bed Bath & Beyond. Can you believe there's a line of people waiting to get in? Because they can buy three things, get four free of equal or lesser price. Sounds pretty good. It's kind of the world we live in, right? Buy three things, get four free. So you're going to buy three things even though you don't want three things. Then you get four free, but they have to be cheaper. You're going to end up spending more. We didn't end up getting any. It's crazy if you do the math, actually. You know, like you buy three $30 candles. You only really wanted two. You now have $90 worth of candles, but you get four things free. I guess it makes sense. You know, sort of. You get a lot of stuff. You end up somehow always spending more. There was this thing. It was like $40. It was like crazy. It was like if you spend $40. Then for another $40, you can get this kit of stuff, which is like, I don't know, body wash and this oil and that, whatever, all in 1 cent only. Okay. And apparently what happens is people spend $40, then they spend 40 more to get the kit, which would otherwise cost them like 140. So they're getting it for like a third off. But they wouldn't have bought it to start with, but they're getting it for a third off. So they spend $40 on something else. Then they get the kit in one flavor only. And apparently what people do is they come back and return the things for different flavors, scents, whatever. But I asked my girlfriend, like, is that a good deal? On the surface, yes. I was like, do you want the stuff that's in there? She's like, no, 80% of it I wouldn't want. Like, it's stuff, whatever, it's random. The whole thing is random to me. Buy three, get four free. Okay? It's a good deal. That's why there was a line out the door. I thought it would be buy four, get three free. Maybe it was buy four, get three free. No, I think it was buy three, get four free. Bottom line is no candles were bought because next week they do candle day. So you can go buy candles are on sale. And apparently, according to the insiders at the store, the candle sale, the candles will be even cheaper than if you bought three, got X free. But besides, who wants seven, whatever. I guess you could get all your presents for everybody. It's just the whole thing is just, so yes, cheaper to go on candle day where they cut the price of the candles. Like to 2/3, and you could just buy two candles if that's what you wanted, or three, and spend less than if you bought three candles at full price and got four things you didn't really need or want. But I guess you have things. Everything I've realized in our consumer market is you're encouraged to buy more. Everywhere you go, you're encouraged to buy, buy, and sales make you buy more. You buy things you weren't even going to buy because they're on sale. You buy more of something than you were going to buy because it's on sale. Not because you need it, not because you even want it. You buy things you don't even need or want because they're on sale. The deal makes it make sense. I sort of want it. I could use it, I guess. If you looked at what you really needed, what would you actually go and if you had to go buy it, how much would you buy? You know, I'm not saying literally to live like a minimalist, but if you just were like, here's what I actually need. The entire consumer marketplace that we live in operates a lot like social media. It encourages you to participate constantly, to feel like you're missing if you're not participating constantly, to seek to acquire more things, likes, views, etc. The whole time thinking you're getting something for it. You're accomplishing something for it. It's interesting. I know a guy, he summited all 7 peaks, the highest peaks in each continent, and that includes Everest, and did it with one lung after surviving terminal cancer twice. Pretty impressive. Two times given terminal cancer diagnosis, loses a lung in the process of one of them, goes and climbs Everest. Yeah, he used oxygen like most people. He went and climbed Everest. And all the other highest peaks in each continent, the highest peak in each continent. And then he went to the North Pole and the South Pole. It's called the Grand Slam. And you do all that, the 7 peaks and the North and South Pole. And he talks about getting to the end of I think it's the South Pole was the last one. And it's this huge victory. It's freezing. Your hands are numb. Everything's cold, frostbitten. Like you're finally there. And he'd now finished the whole thing. And instead of feeling like elated, like I did it, he's like, okay, now what? What's next? I'm simplifying it. But the sense was that that's not actually, you don't really feel like you've succeeded necessarily just because you accomplish more. You get more likes, you get more views, you get more money, you get more whatever. You feel good for a minute, then you want more. It's not really giving you real satisfaction, right? Same with the shopping thing, right? You feel like I got a great deal. Good, I bought something else I didn't really need or did need or want or could want or whatever. You get more and more. People talk about shopping when they're depressed, but it doesn't really make them feel better. It's like eating when you're depressed. You're just getting more and more, but it's not actually making you feel any better. Like you're depressed, maybe you'd be better like go work out and fast. You might feel better. But you'd only feel better if you change something on the inside. The shopping, and I'm getting somewhere here that's not just about shopping on a Black Friday, although that's what so much of Black Friday is. And for the 10 of you who are listening to me, or 20 or 30 on Black Friday, maybe we're lucky at 100. You might get some benefit from connecting to this. And I'm not judging people who like to go to stores. Our entire society is based on shopping. If it's not in stores, it's online. I mean, not even when you watch an ad, on Prime, for example. If you're watching something on Amazon Prime, when there's an ad, there's a thing you can scan on your screen to just go buy it right now. Like, get you right to it, save you any process at all. And we consume and we consume. And our motivation for consuming is really, we've always known this, right? To feel better. By the way, there's a political point at the end of this for what it's worth. But it's worthwhile in itself, I think. There's they went back to the old studies around Coca-Cola, Coke, and found that, the message was both the subliminal message of the bottles tipping up to the girl's mouth, right? That shit isn't made up. They figured out how to make it look like it's basically like a cock in her mouth, or outside, or the guy with it, or whatever. It wasn't even so much about a woman or a man. It's about a phallic thing that gives people pleasure, and it represents power. But, Coke's entire campaign was built on making you feel good about yourself if you drank it, like you're living the good life if you drink Coca-Cola, In fact, while we're here for a second, I'm gonna look up. Remember, have a Coke and a smile. What are some of the top lines over the years that Coke used marketing lines for Coca-Cola? Remember, have a Coke and a smile. Coke, it's the real thing. The pause that refreshes. Coke is it. Open happiness. Remember that one? Open happiness. Open happiness. Like, things go better with Coke. Remember they did I'd like to buy the world a Coke to that song. I'd like to, what's that song go? Remember? It's the real thing. Yeah, that was it. Coke Adds Life. Remember that one? That was in the 70s. Coke Adds Life. Coke made life better for you. Coke didn't do shit for you. It tastes good. I'm a Diet Coke guy myself. It gives you it's a tons of sugar. You've done the studies where they put something like nail in a Coke for 6 months and it turns it whatever. So basically it eats your insides out. Tastes good, gets you a little hot, gives you a buzz. It's like coffee, caffeine high. I'm addicted to Diet Coke. Doesn't taste anything like Coke. I like to taste the Diet Coke. Tastes like metallic. Ugh. Most people are like, it tastes like metal, sort of. Yeah, it's a delicious metal taste. I'm an addict. I'm a Diet Coke addict, full on, admit it. I feel good when I got a Diet Coke. I feel really good. If I can't get a Diet Coke, don't feel as good if I have to get a Coke Zero. It doesn't do the same thing for me. It doesn't taste the same. It doesn't feel the same either. There's something about seeing that red and silver can. Diet Coke. But Coke sold a product that does nothing for you except that it's a refreshment drink that gives you a little buzz and has, you know, a sweet, bubbly flavor. Well, I guess bubbly's not a flavor, but, you know, that sweet cocoa-like flavor that's Coke. And told you it made life better when you had it. So we've always seen for a long time the most successful advertising campaigns weren't necessarily about advertising the value of the product, but what the product would make you feel, regardless of if the product had anything to do with making you feel that way. It's not like Coke was designed to actually make you're healthy or make your, you know, give you, it's not even like Monster Energy or something. It just will actually make your whole life better. Things go better with Coke. Coke makes you smile. Coke adds life. Like to build a world of Coke. Where there's Coke, there's hospitality. Open happiness. I just open happiness. It's the real thing. And the very first Coke slogan, drink Coca-Cola. I'm just telling you what to do here, folks. Just drink it. Like now, drink Coca-Cola. That's how they started. 1886. You realize that stuff's been around? 96, 106, 16, 140 years. I count on my fingers. It's crazy, right? So, and I'm looking at ads now. Like there's the Billy Bob Thornton ad for T-Mobile. You know, T-Mobile's not really selling the service or the product at this point so much. You know, I mean, sure, they all say we have the best network or the biggest this, you know, but mostly it's about the deal values, right? Verizon has the best deal value. Sure, we got great coverage. That said, what's great is you can get a free iPhone on us if you just trade any iPhone in. In fact, no plan required. Hey, we'll give you T-Mobile 4 lines for $25 a line. It's the best deal you're going to get. You know, it's awesome. We're giving you an amazing deal, and look at how cool our products are. Great, have fun. I can get those same phones on any carrier. I can get the phones by themselves. Yeah, but we carry all the phones. They tell about this much about what their actual service is. Like Verizon, I've had Verizon forever. Verizon is so expensive. But they don't say, we're the most expensive carrier. They have really good coverage in some places. Some places not so great. T-Mobile, AT&T was better and still is in certain places. T-Mobile's getting a lot of traction. But my point about the T-Mobile is the T-Mobile is moving to, and more companies are moving to sell, again, not the super value of their product, the value of the price, but the value of the identification if you have it. Now, that's nothing new. It's just, to me, fascinating how intensely it's moving. I'm going to the Billy Bob Thornton ad. He's driving a truck like in like somewhere out west, like where Landman would be, you know, like rugged country. And he's talking, and it's all Billy Bob Thornton style. Nothing fake about it. Now, I don't know what he's like in person, although you've heard him talk. It's his sound of his voice. He has that cadence and all that. But it's very in character with, you know, with the Landman kind of personality. The personalities he's played. Straight, smiles only a little bit, little Clint Eastwood-ish, kind of giving you the straight shit, no fucking around kind of thing. Little grin here and there. And basically he's telling you how back in the day, he remembers like when cell phones were like giant, you know, boxes, suitcases, you had to open, close, you know, kind of making fun of the time that's passed to where we are now. And how he said way back when, he kind of said back then, you know, this is sort of the premise of it. It doesn't even matter what he said way back then, but the way back then was about what, you know, T-Mobile's now giving you, which is, you know, that it's more efficient, it's faster, it's you know, it's the best network out there. So he was making fun of how bad the networks were back then and the phones were back then. And now you got T-Mobile. And he's getting to his destination. He's like, so T-Mobile got this and figured it out. It's like, they didn't figure out anything really new. I mean, I said it, you know, I said it first. That's his takeaway. I said it first. Bear with me for a second. I should block my screen when I do that, but I was losing power. He's like, but I said it first. I was there first and I said it. That's the takeaway. You're like Billy Bob Thornton and you're cool if you get T-Mobile. It may or may not be a better network, but he's in there personally. It's personal. I said it first. I was on it. Ryan Reynolds does it with the Mint Mobile. Like they reflect their public personalities. You're buying an association with that person. It's different than say Jennifer Garner in Capital One. That's not quite the same. She's selling the product. And her big fun personality, which isn't, who knows what she's like in real life, but she doesn't have she plays all different kinds of characters, but But this is truly a personality driven. This is the character you come to know Billy Bob Thornton is, and the big, most famous characters he plays. And you assume he's a little like that in person. And it's now you're like with him. And it ends with him driving up to this little diner in the middle of nowhere and saying, hey, on the phone, hey, dude, you'll never guess where I am. Thus, in the middle of nowhere at the diner, T-Mobile works, implied. This is the culture we live in. This is the politics we live in. This is the world we live in. Perception is everything. It always has been, but it's on steroids. Gratification is essential, and gratification, short-term, immediate, emotional satisfaction is better than long-term, better than actual change. I don't want to work to lose weight if I can take Ozempic and drop it like that. That is more gratifying. It used to be more gratifying to have to work harder. Going back to my friend who climbed the summits, he worked super hard, and even that wasn't the gratification. He realized it's something inside I'm not getting. I'm not getting actual, I'm accomplishing these things, but I'm not actually, what's inside hasn't actually changed. If climbing mountains doesn't do it for you, certainly buying more products isn't going to do it for you, right? It's not going to fill you up in that way. It's going to seem like it for a minute. Having more likes, having more views, followers, it's not going to do it for you either. If the hardest accomplishments don't even necessarily do it for people, because there's something inside us, but that is, it's craving that actual accomplishment. But it's hard in a world where that's not rewarded, reinforced, or sold to us. Nobody's really saying, do it that way. They're saying, come in now, get it quick, buy the deal, buy 3, get 4 free, whatever it is, you know, it's get it now. And everywhere you go today on Black Friday, and then, by the way, then there's Cyber Monday, and then there's Christmas, whatever, pre-Christmas, Christmas. There's probably 72 sales between now and Christmas, and you got to be at all of them, or you're missing out. Meanwhile, then there's the Prime sales and the online retail sales. You're missing out all the time. God, it must be horrible. People, there's like why Instagram suicides happen. You're gonna have shopper suicides. We spent the whole show on this premise. I'm going to take it back to just the simple ending on validation. You know, Trump called a reporter who asked him about Biden's botched withdrawal from Afghanistan, which it was. It was a botched withdrawal. And the reporter asks him, you know, and there's definite questions about how people were vetted coming out of Afghanistan. I mean, we lost the base. It was a zoo. It was a mess. You know, service people were shot. It was chaotic. Nobody was sure who was what, where. People were hanging off planes. Who knows? But Trump's Justice Department said the other day, last week, or 2 weeks ago, whenever, a month ago, that the vetting process had been relatively thorough. I don't know that I believe that for a second. And I don't care what Justice Department's telling me, Trump or Biden. But in any case, this reporter, Nancy Cordes from CBS, asked Trump this and says, accusing Trump accuses Biden of letting the suspect who shot the guardsman in with no vetting. And, she says, your FBI and Department of Homeland Security said that they were brought into the U.S. and they were vetted. And he literally calls her stupid like 3 times. He's like, because they let him in. Are you stupid? Are you a stupid person? Because they come in on a plane along with thousands of other people that shouldn't be here. And you're just asking questions because you're a stupid person. Wow. We are entering precarious times. And our president, he's doing some good things, is acting a bit like a king. And I am not a fan of the mainstream media for the most part. And they've set themselves up for this. They've asked for it. They're inexcusable false reporting during the first Trump administration and during Biden's administration. Their collusion with one political party, their collusion with the Taylor? Hey, Taylor? Well, I have no idea what just happened there, and I'm not even sure if I'm still here. So I'm back, sort of, maybe. So we're going to wrap this up. Point is, we're entering a really strange time where we have a president who insults anybody who asks him questions he doesn't like. We have a politicized system where both sides weaponize just about everything that happens. A tragic shooting of National Guardsmen gets politicized by the left to suggest that Trump should never have sent them there anyway, and they weren't popular, and almost like they had it coming. Not that they asked for it, but they're the innocent victims. It's the Trump's fault. It's the right's fault. It's conservatives' fault. And the right suggesting the left. I think this is one where it is valid, is stirring up that hostility to attack people who are going in lawfully doing what they're told. That part is being stirred up. But I'm saying both sides weaponize everything. When there's when there's a shooting like at a school, that gets weaponized by both sides as well. What I guess I'm getting at is that there's a level of heat going up and up and up, and the idea of holding the president accountable is getting harder and harder to do. He's so tough, and he's so like out in front of everybody. He's also like thin-skinned, and he's also accomplished enough things to give him that room to get there and fought hard enough to get there. He earned the spot up there, but he's also now doing what Biden does, which was sort of say everything's better than it is, regardless of if it is, and doesn't want to tolerate any negative questions or any negative actions. That's not healthy either. But again, if you're a Republican, being liked by Trump is essential. It's critical. We are entering a strange time, defined as, I will wrap this up because I'm not sure it's still actually going. But the first part was, regardless of the politics, that's the consumption culture. And that has, and the media culture and the social media culture that's eating at all of us and destroying the fabric of our relationships at core, personal, to some extent institutional, and even financial. Praise Bitcoin on that level, and political and social and cultural. Trump, which we'll talk about more on Monday, is invalidating all Biden's auto pen signatures. I don't even know where this game goes next. Kind of can't make it up. Who signs them now? You can't just say I won't accept any of them, and they're all no longer all these hundreds of executive actions and pardons aren't true. Every one of those will be litigated. But you could say that pen isn't a valid signature, or if you don't think the president actually authorized it. How you would prove that, I don't know. How you would remedy it, I don't know. How you would cure it, so to speak. And what happens next? Is this more rhetoric, or are we one step closer to the political civil war that I think is inevitably coming, and AI is going to only trigger it more? We'll talk about that next week. Happy Thanksgiving weekend. No guilt or shame if you indulge in Black Friday, but think about the consumption culture in the biggest, truest sense of the word. And thanks for watching.
Meet Rob Nelson, talk show host.
Because you got the 70s thing going there. I got someone's underwear.
Robert Kennedy, thanks for taking a minute. Simple question.
Tucker, it's good to see you. Listen,
If you're a Bitcoin maximalist, you're Bitcoin forever.
I hate this central bank digital currency.
Hey.